y'all are watching this right now, I need you to like, comment, subscribe. All right, Balance of Opinions should be right here. My brother will put it there. The Balance of Opinion Sports somewhere over there. All right. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Anyways, so how does it feel to be married with kids, and what was kind of the thinking behind you doing what you were doing by getting married? Because some people think getting married is getting your nuts chopped off. I don't believe that, but those are the jokes we crack on each other sometimes.
All right. Well, I'll go first here. It's funny. I have like a little book of like things that you want to be when you grow up, and like my dad was pretty amazing. Coming back here from Jamaica, we didn't have a lot. My mom went to school and worked. My dad worked 2 jobs, but they always had time to come home and like, my dad would play Blades of Steel with me on Nintendo every so often. We played, watch movies and all that kind of stuff. We always have some good food to eat. I always thought like I wanted to be like my dad. I didn't know what my dad did, So I always knew that he was a good husband. So I told myself that when I grow up, I want to be a husband, you know. It took a while to find, someone, but I met this woman, Sarah, and she, it's different when you meet someone. You just know, at that point, I already had, like a half a family with Antoine itself. She didn't have any kids or anything like that. She had a puppy, but we clicked from like day one, and I knew I know I've always wanted that. I've always been like long-term relationship kind of guy. But meeting her like kind of changed my entire life, changed my life and my son's life. She like wanted more, and she pushed more from me to be a better, bigger person, and like use my potential that I can go. And I think the biggest thing about, a good woman, a good wife, are the ones that don't accept you for who you are today, but want you to be better tomorrow. And you want that for yourself as well. And you just don't stay stagnant, so that way you keep on moving in the right direction. And she gave me that, as well as like taking care of my family, my mom, my dad, and just being a part of it too. So, I think that the biggest thing for me, like I said, I'm gonna, see the same thing you said. My biggest accomplishment is definitely having my children is there. But the second best thing in my life, is definitely my wife. And I know when my kids grow up and they leave, my wife will always be there for me. So, I'm super excited for that. So yeah, that's my piece.
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, like I was single a long time after me and Dante's mom broke up, because like, all right, I'm just gonna do me, do my schooling, just focus on me. And then it was kind of coming towards the end of my school, and I had like 1 year left. And then yeah, that's when I met my wife at BMO. She was on the same type of goals that I was. She had her degree being done in maybe like, she finished a year after me, so she was pretty close to being done. And I remember I wanted someone that was educated, right? Someone that could understand going through the grind of university, was smart, and she never did drugs. She hasn't done drugs like ever. So I was like, all right, that's what I want. Kind of someone like my mom, my mom didn't drink, didn't do any drugs, just focused on her school. You're kind of always looking for that maternalistic type of person that kind of reminds you of your mother. Someone that's not going to really take your shit and let you walk over them. Like she called me out, put me in my place a lot of times. And like, she was younger than me. She's like 6 years younger than me. But all my friends that meet her and their wives are just like, man, she's a lot more mature than her actual age is. So, she had all the goals that I was looking for. She came from a family where her parents were both married. And her dad was a little bit, I could say, not too happy that we had kids before we were married. But, like, we had to choose one or the other. Do we buy a house first, or do we have a wedding? And we were just like, we should buy a house so we could have our house. And then when we have our kids, the kids will be in there. Everything's good to go. They're going to grow up in that house from when they're born, So that was always important. And yeah, it's just one of those days I seen her at work, asked if she wanted to have lunch, and the rest was history. And it's good. I'm happy. I'm really happy with my life, man.
I know you're happy. I can see your trouble up self. Don't worry, man. I'm still fat too, baby. Don't worry. I try to hate on you. I'm just saying you're happy, okay? I'm happy for you because you're happy. All right. For me, I dated a few girls, and did the horse tour. It was just whatever, you know what I mean? Wilding out, doing a whole bunch of shenanigans and tomfoolery. And then I met up with my wife, but the way it was is like I caught her at a club. I gave her my number. No, actually, no, it was BBM. So this is when BBM was hot. Everybody's, you know
BBM.
what I mean? Everybody's out there with the BBM. And I was BBMing and talking to her every day, like, yo, let's go watch a movie. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. She didn't want to do none of that stuff. She kept, oh, I'm in school. And like, for me, that was one thing. I dated so many girls that were doing almost the same thing with the same mindset of just, oh, let's party. And, you know what I mean? Like, life's a breeze kind of thing. And let's just, every day is a holiday. No structure, no goals, nothing like that. The fact that when I met my wife, she was going to school, doing her practical to become a nurse, and she didn't have time for me. She made me wait a whole year. I had to run it down, run it down. One day I called her. She was at work. I'm like, yo, where you at? Give me the address. I ran up on her like, yo, we're going for a date. You know what I mean? And because of the past that we had, the history that I had, we had a way to connect that felt like we really knew each other from like birth. You know what I mean? She supports me in everything I do. I support in everything she does. I'm trying to get her into this bag game because she loves buying bags and making me pay for a portion of it here and there, or full on paying for it. But she buys it, she wears it for a minute, and then she flips it. So I'm like, if you're doing that so much, you know what I mean? Yet again, just trying to promote, self growth and saying there's something that you're interested in. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you have children with somebody, but just if you want somebody to do better in life, you're gonna push them to want to do better things. So yeah, I was trying to get her to do that. She might start it soon. She supports me with this podcast that we're doing right now. You know what I mean? It's it's a crazy thing because I never really ever wanted to get married, but I did because I wanted to have children to break the stigma that I felt my family carried. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like I said, me and all my cousins are bastards. So it's like, you my dad's brother has like 32 kids. You know what I mean? His youngest one is my cousin Drew's second born's age. Like, you know what I mean? Other cousins, they have kids with multiple girls. I'm just like, yo, dude, I can't do that. Like, for me, I couldn't do that. I'd be bald, super gray. I
32
can't
kids.
deal with that type of stress. Because I'm like, I'm not a super confrontational person, but like, if
Jesus.
you're just going to make shit hard for me, I just flip on the dickhead switch. And I don't care. You know what I mean? Get
Yeah.
out of here. Give me my kid. You know what I mean? And I didn't want to be that guy. Because like I said, I seen that a little bit. My mom and my dad were cordial. Sometimes that situation would happen. Oh, I'm tired of you kids. Take it for the weekend. Like, I didn't want to present that to my child. So, like I said, my wife always pushes me to do better things. She supports me in everything I do. And I think that's what you need in a partner, period. Whether it's a male or a female, you need somebody that either pushes you or that sets goals and says, okay, these are the goals, but these are the milestones you need to hit to get to that goal. Because, you can have a million and one dreams, but if you don't take or don't know the steps to take to get to that dream, you know what I mean, and you have somebody that's going the other way, it's very destructive to you as a person, whether you're a male or a female, but especially for fathers, because you see some of these guys out here, the girls hold the kids for ransom. The system is kind of twisted against males. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter what color you are, but it is kind of like some guys, they don't take care of their kids. You know what I mean? I know of a few, so I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about some of the ones that I know that like they'll do anything for their kid, but because the girl's holding a grudge, you know what I'm saying? She's stopping him from being in the child's life because she wants some money, or he's talking to another girl, sees him at the club, whatever the case may be. So I would tell people, for me, it was a thought I never had from when I was young, but the goals and the stuff that I wanted in life, that was something I definitely had to have before I was able to get married.
Sure.
But yo, hold on, man. 32 kids? How is that
Yeah,
possible,
my
bro?
cousin Rick. Yeah, Drew's dad got 32 kids, fam. I'm telling you, there's rangers everywhere, baby. You can't stop us. We an army, the army and the navy.
Yo,
And that's just one man. But that's what I'm saying though. Like, it's crazy when you have family. Like, my family dynamic is crazy because it's everywhere. You know what I mean? Family everywhere. So it's like either it's through marriage, or just because this uncle or that uncle or whatever knocked up this woman. But it's so many of us, and our family's super tight knit. You know what I mean? Like, and this is just my dad's side of the family. This isn't even my mom's. Who's,
Yeah.
you know, most of them aren't out here. They've kind of spread out between Toronto and Montreal, but still, I have my mom's brother out here, his kids. I grew up with them. You know what I mean? They're not much younger. Them and my youngest brother are the same age. So, like I said, the whole parental thing that Bun was talking about, saying like, you know, being a protector. That's something that I feel a lot of us probably here could, you know what I mean, say that they were
Hmm.
a part of or took part in and was a part of their life and their culture and just the way they were upbrought. You know, you're always supposed to look out for your sibling. You know what I mean? If that's your family, that's your family. You can be mad at them all day, but you shouldn't leave them on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they're in trouble, you should help them out. You know, you should make an effort. If the effort doesn't work, then the effort doesn't work. But that's your family. If you ain't gonna do it for them, who is?
Yeah. For me now, it was kind of for me to move towards. Well, I was in before I met my wife. I was in it's like a 4 year relationship and stuff, right? But that one ended tragic, right? Because that girl I was dating, she died from being in a crossfire of a shootout and stuff. So,
Wow.
Sorry to hear
and
that, man. Sorry to hear that.
yeah, no, thanks, bro. So for like at least 2 years, I was like, yeah, I was like, nah, no one. I don't want no one. You know, I just like, I was like,
Yeah,
you
pain.
know, the bar star.
Yeah.
Uh, I was bar star. I don't want to give no one
We
the
had to
time
pick
of
you up a
day.
couple of times.
Huh?
I said we had to pick you up a couple of times. Show pull up to the house, go pull you out the car, carry you like a baby to the house, put you put you in the bed, and you roll it up. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. This story's gonna be doing the same bullshit though. Cootie's house, I
Yeah.
passed out
So
face first and
yeah,
shit.
so it was kind of hard, but yeah. And then I would go to the club a few times, and I would always see this one girl. She's always staring at me. I'd always look back at her, and you know. And funny thing is, we know mutual people, like, and then yeah, so mutual people started, and then we started talking, and yeah, straight up, the rest was history. The rest is what it was.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Like, 'cause I know in my family dynamics, like my dad is non-status Indian. He's a Métis, but my mom's full status. So my mom wouldn't marry my dad because if she married him, she would lose her rights. So my mom was like, nope, nope, nope. I need my rights. Not going to marry you. And kids used to always call me bastard growing up, right? Are you talking about
Right?
those bastards? Those fucking white kids call me bastard. You're a bastard. Oh, my parents are together, but like my mom's native rights are more important to her than marrying my father, right?
Yeah.
And like,
Which is fair because it
yeah,
helped you guys out, right? I mean, at the end of the day, she wanted to make sure that her kids were able to get their hands on the resources that they need to become the men that they are today, right?
well, like hers is different because she's a band member. So if she would have got married, she would have lost her band membership out in Morley. I'm not a band member. I'm just recognized status through the government. So yeah, she would have lost all of her band membership out there, right? And back then, that's when the reserve they had money, so they're always giving her money and stuff like that. Well, yeah, but she made the right choice, right? My dad left it for a younger girl, so
Hey,
she's
at
seen
least
the future.
yeah, he
Imagine
left with
that.
nothing. He didn't get
Congratulations, you
half.
played yourself.
Facts.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Is there anything you guys want to add on this Father's Day podcast special? I mean, I'd love to have you guys on almost every year if you guys could do it. And if you guys know the people that could join, I mean, you know, I think right now, for me, doing the podcast in this format is almost the best. It allows people to be at their home, be comfortable, be themselves, tell their story, feel like they're in a safe space. And, you know, maybe we add 2 people next year if you guys are down. If you guys have 2 people you want to nominate. And just continue doing this and you know, just sharing stories, you know, little updates here and there if you guys want, you know, stuff like
And you guys got to get on the sports pod. Coot, get on the sports
Yeah,
pod,
when we do it like this, it's hard for me to get out of my house, man. But
well,
like,
that's what I
I
said. We're
can
gonna do it
now.
like this.
Yeah, like the 1 year old is 1 year old now, so he's a little bit more grown. So
Yeah.
A little bit more
And
my
same thing with
back.
you too, bud. Talk, football, man, NFL, man. I want to pick your brain right now. I don't want no Charger stardom. You can come with the Charger jersey, but I don't want to hear no Charger stardom because the Los Angeles Chargers
man.
are okay right now. They're
Yeah, no,
okay.
you're right. They're in a rebuilding stage, so the rebuilding stage. Can't really talk about them right now. We just got to talk about the fact that Phil Rivers went to Indianapolis. The best O lineman, the best O line in the league. Some of the
He be
best
throwing
offensive
ducks
threats.
though.
Listen, man.
He be
Do you,
throwing
do you
ducks
even-
though.
do you know how to spell football, DJ? Come on, get out of here.
He
We're
be
sitting in
throwing ducks though.
basketball.
Hold on. No, he be throwing ducks though. I
We're
mean,
talking about.
last year, how many interceptions? Didn't he throw like 15 interceptions last year? Did he throw like 15 interceptions?
Listen, man. We had one of the worst O linemen in the entire league. The guy didn't play in front of a home crowd in his entire all last year. Don't even worry about that. No,
I'm
don't even
just
worry about
asking a
that.
question.
And listen, he's for me. He just has a place in my heart because he's a quarterback of my old team. But my favorite quarterback to watch play in the league is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is my favorite player to watch play. His coach is an idiot. Getting rid of DeAndre Hopkins. It's too much of a power trip there. But when it comes down to teams that I feel as though are gonna make a big jump this year, you gotta look at Houston like getting closer and closer to Patrick Mahomes and them.
No, I don't see that. I see Lamar and Patrick. They got that sort of.
Man, the thing about Lamar will always be your fantasy quarterback. Lamar will always be the guy that can get you to the playoffs. Lamar won't win nothing. The same way that Michael Vick didn't win nothing. The same way that Donovan McNabb didn't win nothing. The thing about football, when you get to those kind of big games, Russell Wilson's the only person, and Russell doesn't run the ball. Russell Wilson runs to throw the ball. You cannot win games as a quarterback running the ball. Like in the big games, I'm talking about the playoffs. That's why both playoff games he got his ass whooped. Sorry, but
but here's the thing though, you've seen growth within the 2 years. It's like saying that about Cam in his first 3 years.
What growth? He lost the first round both years. There's no growth. He's going to win regular season games because he's going to be playing against the Bengals twice, the Cleveland Browns twice. You know what I'm trying to say? He's going to be playing against teams that
Cleveland's going to be good this year, man. They got a better coach.
They said that last year, and where they end up.
No, last year I didn't believe in him.
Last year I didn't believe in him. But Cleveland. Come on now. It's Cleveland.
Hold on. Kootenai, where's Cam going, man?
Going Patriots.
Nah. Robert Kraft loves slutty booty, but he ain't gonna get no black quarterback over there in Robert Kraft. All right, it ain't gonna happen. They ain't gonna happen, man. As soon as they get one, they trade him off. He ain't gonna go to the Pats. I'm telling you. They ain't gonna make that happen. They're a patriot.
You made me spill my beer, fam. How you talking so blasphemous right now? Like how you talking about my boy Robert Kraft like that? I'm a Brady fan, but I rate Robert Kraft and Belichick.
Yeah, I bet you would. I bet you would. You'd be with him in Miami, like those.
Hey, listen, man.
Listen, up there.
If I was a single man, there's nothing wrong with a little rub and tug, okay? If I was a single man.
Yeah. Listen, that guy.
Hey, listen, his wife died. He's allowed to do these things. He's not like he's cheating on his wife.
Actually, no, it's illegal. You can't go to a place and get a rub and tug and pay for it.
Fam. We're not trying to talk about law. I'm just talking about in general, okay? It's not like he's doing anything so terrible.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't even paying them good money. He's a billionaire. He's getting like $20. Come on.
Fam, I don't know what he's paying them. I'm just saying. But Cooney, how you feel about the NBA season?
Just waiting, man. All we can do is wait, right?
You think they're gonna do it?
I don't know. I really don't. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I've just been watching old fucking YouTube highlight videos and just I've watched a million YouTube old highlight games, man. I need some real new games.
The Last Dance really kind of made it happen there for us for a little bit. It made you want basketball even more, right?
So, yeah, that was.
Huh?
That was amazing.
That's your documentary.
I didn't need my documentary. That was for the young folks. I already knew Jordan was the GOAT.
Yeah.
That's for the kids underneath 25 thinking LeBron's the GOAT. I already knew he's not the GOAT, bro. He can have all the stats in the world, my guy. He beat my boy MJ. Let's keep it real.
You know what's funny about DJ? Like every other time I talk to him, he has like somebody else that's the GOAT. Like last week, he was like talking about how Kobe Bryant was the GOAT. 2 weeks before that, he was like talking about Giannis was the GOAT. Last month, he was talking about Dirk Nowitzki was the GOAT. This guy's everyone's the GOAT.
Stop it. Kobe's my guy because I grew up with Kobe, but I know Kobe's not the GOAT.
Okay.
Well, to this question, what I hate, and all these sports people, man, I don't know what they're looking at. I don't know what they watch, and I don't know what they see, right? I don't care if Kobe Bryant is not the GOAT. I love Kobe. Everybody knows that shit, right? And it doesn't matter how close he is to Jordan. I still know Jordan is the GOAT. But I hate to see Kobe getting disrespected, right? It's just like I hate to see when LeBron getting disrespected. Like, these motherfuckers deserve where they need to deserve to be. Get out of here with that shit, with your personal feelings.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. Listen,
Yeah, get out of here with your
Kobe,
personal feelings.
MJ,
Number one, LeBron hit
LeBron.
me right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here. But
Yeah.
you know what? I only hate him as a player. I don't hate him as a man. He's a great man.
He's a great
He's
player
a
too.
very great man. He's a great all-around player. He's not the greatest though. You know, that's my only statement, right?
It
Like,
doesn't. Hey, listen,
This
the
is a
man
great
doesn't matter
disagree.
what. It doesn't matter if he's not the greatest, bro. He's top 3, hands down.
of course,
That's great. That's great start. It doesn't matter what.
of course.
Second best, it doesn't matter.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not talking about what's after one. I'm just talking about one. Everything after one is whatever you want to do. Your list is your list. His list is his list. I ain't over here hating on nobody's list.
I go watch old Jordan highlights of him just torching Jeff Hornacek. I'm like, man, of course he's gonna look like he's the greatest Jeff Hornacek guarding him, man.
Oh
6'1"
man,
white guy.
This is
Jeff Hornacek.
This is what I mean, though.
How are you gonna pick Jeff Hornacek out of all the other teams he
Who
had to
else
go
you want?
All the
into?
players that he played against, all the
John
famous.
Starks?
He picks Jeff Hornacek. Next thing you know, he's gonna tell me John Stockton was guarding him, bro. It's Cooney for you, though, man.
I see some funny Jordan pictures where like he's just an old looking white guy with silver fox hair just guarding Jordan. Jordan's like doing up and under. I'm like, man.
This guy's killing me. But yeah, man. We'll get you guys on the sports pod. You know what I mean? Like I said, we try to do that one during the week, like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night. You know, we'll try to get you guys on that. But for right now, yet again, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for participating, Coop and Bones. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the podcast with your boy Kingy Crush Glass and Manila
Da Vinci.
and my homeboy
Kootney.
and my famo.
Busy B.
Okay. Thank y'all.